This is the book of Revelation, chapter 11, verse 14. The second woe is past, and behold, the second woe cometh quickly. And first off, before I get started, I want to thank Bahasham, Yahawashi for putting the spirit on me to do this lesson. I want to give all honor, praise, and glory to Yahawah, Bahasham, Yahawashi, Bahasham, Rakakadash. I want to give double honor to the apostles and the elders of GMS who rule well, who taught me this truth. Salutation, you brothers and sisters that are out there listening and learning, find this good fight of faith. And salutation, my fellow brethren that are pushing His word in all truth and sincerity. To you all, I want to say shalom. And I hope and pray that this is edifying to the elect. So as I opened up with Revelation 11 and 14, the second woe, representing the Second World War, is past. And behold, meaning look, the third woe, the Third World War, cometh quickly, And indeed, these things are on the horizon, man, So I have this article that I want to read, from Politico. It was published, I believe it was published today, actually. June 9th, 2023, the hopeful year that all the prophecies shall be fulfilled, as coined by the beloved Apostle Tahar, right? And it reads, the Pentagon is freaking out about a potential war with China because America might lose, and America will lose, man. Why? Because it's prophesied, So, I kind of just want to read through this. I said, get it through precepts, and like I said, Lord willing, this is edifying to the elect. So it starts, it says, the war began in the early morning hours with a massive bombardment, China's version of, quote, shock and awe. Chinese planes and rockets swiftly destroyed most of Taiwan's Navy and Air Force as the People's Liberation Army and Navy mounted a massive amphibious assault across the 100-mile Taiwan Strait. Now, this is a simulation, as you'll see as we continue to go on. But why this is significant is Taiwan is in league with Babylon, aka America, and the president of Babylon, Sleepy Creepy Joe, has been issuing warnings for the Chinese not to mess with Taiwan. But the Chinese are claiming Taiwan as their own, because as far as as I know as a man, the Taiwanese people are pretty much a lot of them are Moabites, but they are obviously Jakes that are scattered over there, because our people are scattered. These so-called blacks, Latinos, and Native Americans, the Israelites, were scattered amongst all the nations, all the heathen nations. So there will be Israelites over there, but the Moabites, the Chinese, are claiming that land over there, and they don't want America meddling in their affairs over there. And the same thing, pretty much the same exact situation is what's going on with Russia and Ukraine. A lot of those Ukrainians are actually Russians, So those, and Russia is basically claiming that land. And Babylon, America, let's get that real quick, is always sticking their nose where it doesn't belong, man. In particular, these Edomites, man, so-called white people. Habakkuk, what's that, 2? I think it's 2. There it goes, 2 and 5. Habakkuk 2 and 5. Yeah, also because he transgresseth by wine, Esau, Edom, a so-called white man, he is a proud man, right? Neither keepeth at home. Neither keepeth at home. That's them. Can't mind their own goddamn business. What's going on with these other countries doesn't have nothing to do with America. As we'll read in the article, Abaratazah, Babylon has sent over, I believe it's $50 billion to aid Ukraine in the efforts against to fight against Russia. Meanwhile, people here in Babylon are suffering. Homelessness is going through the roof. People can't afford to keep food on their table. So there's a rise in people having to go to food pantries and whatnot. These are the devils that we're talking about, man. Worried about, as the brother Malak said at camp the other day, they're worried about protecting their investments, man. That's what it's really all about. They never cared about the people or their well-being, man. That's why they are the devil that the Bible speaks about, man. So it says, who enlargeth his desire as hell and as death and cannot be satisfied. This man already got the whole world in his hands, and they still want more. But gathereth unto him all nations and heapeth unto him all people, man. So that's these people, man. Esau, Edom, so-called white people, the fucking devil that the Bible speaks of. So it says, having taken seriously President Joe Biden's pledge to defend the island, Beijing also struck preemptively at U.S. and allied air bases and ships in the Indo-Pacific. The U.S. managed to even the odds for a time by deploying more sophisticated submarines as well as B-21 and B-2 stealth bombers to get inside China's air defense zones. But Washington ran out of key munitions in a matter of days and saw its network access severed. The United States and its main ally, Japan, lost thousands of service members, dozens of ships, and hundreds of aircraft. Taiwan's economy was devastated, and a protracted siege ensued. The U.S. was much slower to rebuild, taking years to replace ships as it reckoned with how shriveled its industrial base had become compared to China's, man. So I mean, and this is like I said, as it goes on, it's gonna explain that this is a I forget how they worded it, like a war game, like a simulation. It says the Chinese just ran rings around us. The former Joint Chiefs Vice Chair General John Hyten in one after-action report, quote, they knew exactly what we were going to do before we did it. It says dozens of versions of the above war game scenario have been enacted over the last few years, most recently in April by the House Select Committee on Competition with China. And while the ultimate outcome in these exercises is not always clear, the U.S. does better in some than others. The cost is. In every exercise, the U.S. uses up all its long-range air-to-surface missiles in a few days, with a substantial portion of its planes destroyed on the ground. In every exercise, the U.S. is not engaged in an abstract push-button war from 30,000 feet up like the ones Americans have come to expect since the end of the Cold War, but a horrifically bloody one. You know, it's the pictures of the Chinese over there. You know, and over there, man, you know, they're getting ready, man. They're ready to go to war, man. Brothers have reported on the past couple of months that, you know, trying to get rid of that whole sissified, you know, bullshit that's going on over there and making their men manly, man. And then over here, what's happening? You know, you got goddamn Pride Month, man. You know, you got pride going on all inside the goddamn military, man. A bunch of Bhati boys everywhere, man. So what do you think that these other countries are looking at America like, man? Through. And that's assuming the U.S.-China war doesn't go nuclear. And that's really the point that I wanted to get to, because this is exactly what it's gonna go to, man. This is exactly what it's gonna go to. Let's get because China and Russia are in bed together. Did I pull that up? No, I guess I didn't pull that up, but it's all good. But you know, China, one of China's main allies is Russia. And Russia, matter of fact, let's get that. Russia, and this from the Drudge Report. And it reads from Daily Star. Putin fuels World War III fears with nuclear weapons deployment to Belarus next month. You know, so this is war talk and missile talk is going on a regular basis, man. It says Vladimir Putin has once again stoked nuclear war worries after a meeting with close ally Belarusian President Alexander Lukashenko saw the deployment of weapons pinned for next month. Putin has used Belarus to position missiles perilously, right? Perilous times are coming close to the European capitals several times already this year. And the latest deployment will see nuclear weapons begin preparation to be relocated at facilities in early July, man. So next month, man. You know? So they ain't playing out here, man. And this is about to go down. Because this last war will be fought in a different way, man. This is Isaiah 9:5. For every battle of the warrior is with confused noise and garments rolled in blood, right? So when you look at the battles of old, with swords and shields and, men yelling and coming up, as a matter of fact, just for an example, let's get, what's it, let's just get an example just to, turn this off. And this is for educational purposes, YouTube. Right? Every battle. Where's it at? There we go. Isaiah 9:5. For every battle of the warrior is with confused noise and garments rolled in blood. Right? Let's get this first. Right? Just for a visual. So this is how the original, all the battles of before were fought, right? All the battles of old time, with confused noise. And, for you brothers and sisters that watch this, it is very loud, man. The clashing of the shields with the people, the sand being pushed, everybody screaming, yelling, hollering, right? All the metal clinking and clacking against each other, right? So this is with confused noise, right? All the other battles. But what does the scripture say? Isaiah 9:5. For every battle of the warrior is with confused noise and garments rolled in blood. But this, right, shall be with burning and fuel of fire, right? As we just was going into with these nuclear weapons. This is how this battle, this World War III, will be fought, man. This final war to end all wars, man. With burning and fuels of fire, man. So let's get just before we continue on. This is from the brothers. We brought this out at camp. 7 signs of an empire's end, right? So they show like ancient Rome right here and everything. But the 7th one says a lot, right? So you see got Babylon, the eagle and everything. spreading his wings, their philosophies all over the world. So I'm going to read a little bit of this just to kind of, show that, as the scripture said. Let's get that real quick. What's that, Ecclesiastes? I think it's Ecclesiastes 1. 1 and 9. Ecclesiastes 1 and 9. The thing that have been, it is that which shall be, and that which is done is that which shall be done, and there is no new thing under the sun. Right? So the way that these devils, these Edomites, their ancient Roman Empire went down is the same way that the Lord, is in similar fashion, is the way that the Lord's bringing this empire down, man. They're making a lot of the same mistakes, So it says, the last and seventh sign is the constant feeling of perpetual external warfare against the nation state, right? So this is what, at first, when I read this, I thought about what, different brothers have been bringing out, right? It says, the constant feeling of perpetual external warfare, right? External warfare constantly. This is from Google. It says, this morning I discovered an interesting statistic. Quote, America has been at war 93% of the time, 222 out of 239 years since 1776. Example, the U.S. The U.S. has only been at peace for less than 20 years total since its birth. And this is a sign of this empire's decline, man. One of the signs, It says, for the Assyrians, it was the Medes and the Chaldeans with the Hittites mixed in. For Rome, it was the German invasions. For the German Empire, Austro-Hungarian Empire, Russian Empire, and the Ottoman Empire, the Great War was the culprit. Overexpansion and the need to control your interests requires constant conflict, right? So, the Babylon setting up embassies, all over these, different territories, right? Spreading themselves thin, is leading to its decline, man. And spreading its wine, its influence all over the world, man, is making these other nations an enemy of Babylon the Great, man. It says populations lose their incentives to plan for the future when they don't know what the future might be or who may invade it. This can make a lasting impact on a country. When we think of the first industrial revolution, we think of Great Britain, or as Napoleon said, a nation of shopkeepers. But why didn't the industrial revolution begin in France? It had the Napoleonic Code with free contracts, open markets, and clear uniform regulations. The government has strategized weights and measures, even established technical schools. There was a central bank of France and an encouragement of investors and inventions which were publicly honored. So why Great Britain instead of France? France had years of war which brought about heavy debts. And that's another one, right? Because, they were talking about the debt ceiling. And the scriptures say, woe unto you that are laden with heavy clay, which goes into heavy debts, right? High unemployment, right? The people are not working. They shall rise up early, as it says in the scriptures, at the sound of a bird. When the grinders are cease, in the city, roughly paraphrasing, representing no jobs, high unemployment in some sectors of the economy, and in some regions of the country were limited in development. Also, the returning of soldiers created economic and social problems in some sections of the country. And even in that, because, here in Babylon, the returning soldiers, right, especially the ones that are they got PTSD and different health problems and whatnot, they're not treated fairly, and that's why the majority of them are homeless, man. So that's creating a whole social problem within the country in itself. When a regime is constantly experiencing warfare or some form of perpetual warfare, it cannot use its time, talent, and resources to move forward, and it will eventually harm the society overall. And that's exactly, what we're going into. That's what's happening, man. It says nations, regimes, countries all suffer from these situations. 1, 2, or 3 of these signs doesn't matter to a superpower, but when they all come into alignment, when they all occur, then the result seems inevitable. All empires, no matter how strong, powerful, or unique, eventually fall, right? Because this is the Lord's movie, man. The Lord, let me get that real quick. The Lord said that this bitch would go down, man. Babylon the Great. Let's see, Salaki. I'm trying to find where I put it. There we go. Isaiah 55:11. So shall my word be that goeth forth out of my mouth. It shall not return unto me void, but it shall accomplish that which I please, and it shall prosper in the thing whereto I sent it. Right? Yahawah Bahasham Yahawashi is a man that they cannot lie, man. When they say something's gonna happen, they, a prophetic writing or vision that is, that is written down, that's going to happen, in the future, it will happen, right? The Lord said his words do not go out void, and it shall not, they will not return unto him void. So World War III is coming, and it's going to be with flames of fire, man. So let's get some of these missile scriptures real quick, man. Because this is how this bitch America is gonna go out, man. Let's see, Isaiah 14:23. I will also make it a possession for the bittern and the pools of water, and I will sweep it with the besom of destruction, saith the Lord Yahawah Bahasham Yahawashi, man. So that great sweeping agent, right? You think about that destroying wind, and what was it, Judgment Day. Let me see, Sarah. Salakia, dream. Let's see if we can get it. I guess I gotta write the whole thing. Terminator. There we go. Dream. There we go. Let's get this one. This is what's coming, This is what's absolutely coming to this place, man. Let's get right to the point. Matter of fact, before we get it, I don't even know if I have it pulled up. Let's see. Con. 2 Peter 3:10. But the day of the Lord will come as a thief in the night, in the which the heavens shall pass away with a great noise, and the elements shall melt with fervent heat. The earth also and the works that are therein shall be burned up. Let's start off with that, right? Great noise. The earth and their work shall be what? Burned up. This is what's coming. Here you go, right here. Look at that. Let's get it. Isaiah 14:23. I will also make it a possession for the bittern and pools of water, and I will sweep it with the besom of destruction, saith the Lord of hosts, the Lord of armies. Yahawashi, the host of the Lord of armies, man. Let's get another one real quick. Let's get it. Where is it at? I have it. Is it this one? Nope. That's a good one. No, let's see. Slovakia. So I forget where I had it. But anyway, let's continue on while I try to find it. Oh, matter of fact, it just came back to me. Is it this one? There we go. Khan. This is Jeremiah 51:1. Thus saith the Lord, Yahawashi, behold, I will raise up against Babylon and against them that dwell in the midst of them that rise up against me a destroying wind. Remember that, a destroying wind. And will send onto Babylon fanners that shall fan her and shall empty her land. For in the day of trouble they shall be against her round about. Against him that bendeth, let the archer bend his bow. Right? So you're talking about the missiles, man. You know, the silos would be the representation of the bow, and the arrow would be the missile, man. And against him that lifteth himself up in his burgadine, and spare ye not her young men, and destroy ye utterly all her hosts. Thus the slain shall fall in the land of the Chaldeans, and they that are thrust through in the streets. Right? So this is what's coming, man. A destroying wind. Let's get that real quick. Now it just came to mind. Let's see. Let's see if I can get it like that. Let's see. Here we go. Zechariah 14:12. And this, right, meaning the plague, the missiles, and this shall be the plague wherewith the Lord Yahawashi will smite all the people that have fought against Jerusalem, right? Jerusalem is a people before it's a place, right? The ones, the heathen nations, right? And 2/3 of our people, right? That have been fighting against the elect, man. The remnant of the nation of Israel, right? What the Lord say is going to happen to them? Their flesh shall consume away while they stand upon their feet, and their eyes shall consume away in their holes, and their tongue shall consume away in their mouth, man. Let's read it again. And this shall be the plague wherewith the Lord will smite all the people that have fought against Jerusalem. Their flesh shall consume away while they stand upon their feet. And their eyes shall consume away in their holes. And their tongue shall consume away in their mouth, man. This is no joke. The Lord is coming to do massive destruction on this planet, man, and to these people, man, you know, for the sake of the remnant, man, you know, of the nation of Israel, man. Let's get a couple more real quick and I'll wrap it up. Let's see. I get this one. Yep, I got this one. This is Isaiah 24:20. The earth shall reel to and fro like a drunkard, and shall be removed like a cottage, and the transgression thereof shall be heavy upon it, and it shall fall and not rise again. So what can make the earth move, reel to and fro like a drunkard, man? You know, those missiles, man. Once they start being shot into the ends of the earth, man. From China, Russia, you know, the different allies over there, man. North Korea is 2nd Ezra 16:13. For strong is his right hand that bendeth the bow. Excuse me. His arrows, his arrows are sharp. His arrows that he shooteth are sharp, and shall not miss when they begin to be shot into the ends of the world. Behold, the plagues are sent, and shall not return again until they come upon the earth. The fire is kindled, and shall not be put out till it consume the foundation of the earth. Like as an arrow which is shot of a mighty archer returneth not backward, even so the plagues that shall be sent upon the earth shall not return again. And as we read, those missiles are a plague. And this shall be the plague wherewith the Lord will smite all the people that have fought against Jerusalem. So this is one of those plagues that are going to be sent, man. Let's see. Let's get another one. I had another one. Here we go. This is Revelation 9:16. I'll start at 15. And the 4 angels were loose, which were prepared for an hour, right? This place will be destroyed in 1 hour, right? Babylon the Great, America. In a day, in a month, in a year, for to slay the third part of men. And the number of the army, and the number of the army of the horsemen were 200,000. And I heard the number of them, right? So this is talking about the missiles. And thus I saw the horses in the vision, and them that sat on them, having breastplates of fire and jacinth, right? So, and this is the beauty, you know, just through the spirit. I looked up jacinth, right? And this is a stone. Now, when you look at this, what does it resemble? Fire, right? Fire and brimstone, it's the same colors are within it. Got the yellows, the browns, the reds, all within it, you know, representing the destruction. And jacinth and brimstone and heads of the horses were the heads of lions, and out of their mouths issues fire and smoke and brimstone, right? The nuclear warheads. By these three was the third part of men killed by the fire and by the smoke and by the brimstone which issued out of their mouths. For their power is in their mouth, right? The nuclear warhead, and in their tails. For their tails were like unto serpents. Let's get one, like a good one. Let's see if I can get a good one across the sky. That's not a bad one. That's a good one. Right, so you got the nuclear warhead, right? Which would be I don't know if it's going this way. It looks like it's coming down, but nonetheless, you would have the front of the missile, the nuclear warhead, and then as John the Revelator is describing, where is it at? Salakia. He says, for their power is in their mouth, the nuclear warhead, and in their tails, meaning the thrusting system, right? For their tails were like unto serpents. So when you look at this image right here, it would be like a serpent, because you're talking about, 2,000 years ago, he described it to the best of his ability, man. So it looks like a serpent, right? And it says, for their power is in their mouth and in their tails, for their tails were like, unto serpents, and had heads, and with them they do hurt. Meaning the multiple nuclear warheads, man. And that's what's coming to Babylon the Great, man. It will be this World War III will happen, and it will be fought with where is it at? It will be fought with burning fuel of fire, man. It won't be fought as the other battles in the past, man, with confused noise, with the main instrument of war will be those nuclear missiles, man, which when they begin to be shot into the ends of the earth, man. Joel 3:9, proclaim ye this among the Gentiles, prepare war, wake up the mighty men, let all the men of war draw near, let them come up. Beat your plowshares into swords. And that's what these other nations have been doing. They've been turning their agricultural, the money that they would usually spend on, agriculture, and spending it on war. And your pruning hooks into spears, let the weak say I am strong. Right? Because there was a time when people wouldn't come up against Babylon, aka America, man. But now the ones that were perceived to be weak, are strong. They have nuclear capabilities, They have all these different nuclear capabilities, man. So that's the weak saying I am strong. Assemble yourselves and come, all ye heathen, and gather yourselves together round about. Thither cause thy mighty ones to come down, O Lord, Yahawah Bahasham Yahawashi. Let the heathen be awakened and come up to the valley of Yahawashi, Lord's judgment. For there will I sit to judge all the heathen round about, man. So this is what's coming. Let's get this last one and I'll wrap it up. I think I had it up here. Is it here? Oh, it's 50. It's 50. Let's go back. Here we go. I'll just go right to the point. Jeremiah 50:14. 13. Because of the wrath of the Lord, Yahawah Bahasham Yahawashi, it shall not be inhabited. Right? Talking about Babylon, man. It's going to be a complete desert wasteland. In fact, let me just go right here. Jeremiah 50:12. Your mother shall be sore confounded, right? Babylon came out of Britain, man. Right? So their mother shall be sore confounded. She that bare you shall be ashamed. And it's even, you see that even now, right? These when you go over to the Great Britain or whatever, they look down on Americans, man, because the Americans are fucking stupid as hell over here, man. It says, behold, the hindermost of the nations shall be as a shall be a wilderness, a dry land, and a desert. And that's what's gonna happen, man. This place is gonna be utterly burned from sea to shining sea, man. Because of the wrath of the Lord, Yahawashi, it shall not be inhabited, Babylon, but it shall be wholly desolate. Everyone that goeth by Babylon shall be astonished and hiss at all her plagues. And they say, oh my God, look at that place. Astonished. And the Lord said, put yourselves in array against Babylon round about, all ye that bend the bow. All of you that have this nuclear capability, array yourselves against Babylon round about. Shoot at her, spare no arrows, for she have sinned against the Lord Yahawah by Yahawashi, man. Hey, so this bitch is going down in spectacular fashion, man. And us brothers, you know, and a few sisters out there, we can't wait, man. We hope and pray that we get to see the reward of the wicked, man. Did I have that scripture up? Matter of fact, I think it was in 51. Let's see. Jeremiah, is it this one? No, there was one that let's read this one. Jeremiah 50, 51 and 4. Thus the slain shall fall in the land of the Chaldeans, and they that are thrust through in her streets. For Israel have not been forsaken, nor Judah of his power, of the Lord Yahawah by Yahawashi of hosts, though their land was filled with sin against the Holy One of Israel. Flee out of the midst of Babylon, right? So depart, for this is not your rest, man. Spiritually, mentally, come back onto your power, you know, Yahawah by Yahawashi, before the evil days come, right? And deliver every man his soul, be not cut off in her iniquity, for this is the time of the Lord's vengeance. He will render unto her, Babylon, a recompense. Yeah, and it goes, you know, continues on. Babylon has been a golden cup in the Lord's hands, Yahawah by Yahawashi's hands, that made all the earth drunken. The nations have drunken of her wine, therefore the nations are mad, right? All the different philosophies, this alphabet crap, you know, this all these different Western philosophies that, you know, are completely contrary to the Bible. You know, the nations have drunk of it. You know, even something like, you know, the way the buildings are. You know, we're not supposed to be building no damn skyscrapers, but all the other nations, they look just like a mirror image of America, man. It says Babylon is destroyed. Babylon is suddenly fallen and destroyed. Howl for her, take balm for her pain. If so be, she may be healed. We would have healed Babylon, but she is not healed. Forsake her, and let us go everyone into his own country, for her judgment reaches unto heaven, and is lifted up even to the skies, man. You know, hey, the Lord have brought forth our righteousness. Come and let us declare in Zion the work of the Lord, Yahawah by Yahawashi, man. So we're gonna be rejoicing, you know, when this bitch goes down, man. Lord said, make bright the arrows. He goes talking about the missiles. Gather the shields. The Lord Yahawah by Yahawashi have raised up the spirit of the kings and the Medes, for his device is against Babylon to destroy it, because it is the vengeance of the Lord Yahawah by Yahawashi, the vengeance of his temple, man. So hey, man, the Lord is going to use these other nations to destroy Babylon, man. And that's why, you know, they're freaking out, man. Because the Lord is going to use the heathen, all ye that are about, you know, round about, you know, gather yourselves, you know, and then there you go. Shoot at, you know, get ready to shoot at her, man. You know, roughly paraphrasing. Let me read it real quick, Salakia. Joel 3 and 11. Assemble yourselves and come, all ye heathen, and gather yourselves together round about, thither cause thy mighty ones to come down. Right? So they're gathering themselves round about to come shoot at this bitch, man. Come shoot these these missiles at this bitch, man. You know? So yeah, that's pretty much it. You know, I just wanted to report on that. World War III is coming. America will be destroyed utterly. From sea to shining sea. It will be a desert wasteland where desert creatures dwell, and it will be left an example for those that choose to live ungodly, man. Just like in the past examples, man. Why? Because their sins have reached on to heaven. All you have to do is just mention what month that we're in the month of June, Pride Month, man. And as the scriptures say, pride goeth before destruction, man. So, that's pretty much it. I want to thank Yahawah Yahawashi once again for putting the spirit on me to do this lesson. And I want to give all honor, praise, and glory to Yahawah, Bahasham, Yahawashi, Bahasham, Rakakadash. I want to give double honor to the apostles and elders of GMS who rule well, taught me his truth. Salutation, you brothers and sisters that are out there listening and learning, fighting this good fight of faith. And salutation, my fellow brethren that are pushing this word in all truth and sincerity. To all, I want to say Shalom. I want to say DTA, Abab Babal, and Kwam Yasharallah. Hey, Shalom. To the next one.